It's been 2 years now since I got home to the UK from all my travels and adventures. And a lot has happened. I've been working as a videographer and filmmaker full time, literally getting paid to make films, like my dream. If you look at the work that I was creating 2 years ago with my travels and compare it with the stuff I'm producing now for work, there is a drastic difference in quality. That's all down to the huge learning curve that I've had since I've been working at Studio 24/7. I've learned so much.
In my series Why You Need to Travel, I highlighted how amateur I was at filmmaking. It was a lot of little teething problems such as audio quality.
Wow. I am blown away by how beautiful this place is. This is probably the most beautiful place I've been on Earth.
A lack of knowledge around lighting, colour grading. That's all stuff I was able to iron out whilst working as a videographer.
I remember my very first day on the job. We were shooting with Beth Tweddle, and if you don't know who Beth Tweddle is, just do a little YouTube search. She's a British gymnast. She's won Olympic medals. She's really good. So I was shitting it.
So I'll come in like this and just walk forwards, and as soon as I start take a step out here,
I'll talk.
Start talking, yeah.
Okay.
So if we just get a clap, please, guys. Cool. Right. And you're all right there, Josh. Okay. And we're going.
Or one of the many bands and plays that host evenings at the Memorial Court and beyond.
Enjoy the show.
Oh, classic. Only one door works. Oh well.
We were making a promotional destination video for Northwich, which is the town where Studio 24/7 is based. And yeah, it was just a mad experience. My first day, I was shooting with this person that I'd seen on TV loads, and so nervous. But straight off the bat, I hit the ground running, and I learned so much even on that very first day.
And are always encouraging new to. Oh gosh, do that one again.
It was pretty simple things like just learning how to work with someone who's famous, because we'd be walking down the street trying to film a shot and people were like, oh my god, it's Beth Tweddle, and you have to learn how to deal with all of that stuff. Getting good sound with a shotgun mic and a boom, that was something I'd never ever done before. Making sure your phone is off or on silent when you're on set.
Action.
If you're here to.
That's my fault. Phone's off.
Schoolboy error.
And this was the narrative for the next year and a half. Just non-stop learning, lots of experiences, and just tons of growth. And yeah, it's been such an amazing experience. We've shot event videos, property shoots, got my drone license. Sports videos. I can see no other way. Stop the fighting for my life. I can see no other way. When the world is crooked and dark for more property shoots. Gym stuff. wine marketing. Alongside all of that filmmaking stuff, I've learned about business. When I got back from Australia, I still had a lot to learn, but I kind of knew how to make a video, or I knew the basics, you know? But what I didn't know was how to make money from that. This job has shown me how to take a passion and a hobby and turn it into something that can actually support me in life and make it into a career. I've learned how to deal with clients, how to invoice, how to win new work, how to market yourself, how to deal with clients when they're not happy, how to quote for jobs, how to problem solve, so many things.
If you're interested in watching more of my commercial and corporate work, I have dedicated a page to it on my website. If you head to joshedwardsfilms.com, you'll find it there under the Work tab.
On top of this, I'd still try and get away when I could. Obviously, I couldn't travel as much as I wanted because I was now in a full-time job. I had rent to pay, car to fuel, you know, all those life things. So I didn't want it to, but travel has taken a backseat over the past 2 years whilst I focused on this job. I didn't want it to, but I knew that I had to. I had to make that sacrifice. And to be fair, I've still managed to get away plenty of times. There was the time that me and Layla went away to Berlin. I made one of my favourite travel series about that trip. That was a really, really fun trip.
Die Halle voller Nikes, Adidas und Filas. Ich weiß, dies war nie das, was zählt, aber irgendwie lieb ich das. Ich seh schon.
We went to the Lake District for my birthday. We explored North Wales at the weekends. I was basically still trying to put YouTube content out there, just as and when I could. I was still trying to run this channel, you know, but I'm sure some of you noticed there was maybe big gaps in between uploads. It's just because I was focusing on this job. I basically got into this routine where I'd get home from work about 5 p.m. at night, I'd eat dinner, and then I'd just flat out edit until maybe 9 p.m, something like that, every single night of the weekday, just because that's what I wanted to do. And I had these big travel series that I wanted to edit and get out there, and it was a lot of work. Before the Berlin series, it had been the East Coast. That was by far the biggest project I've ever taken on. Like, it was mad, to be honest. It was like 6 months of solid editing. I'm not really sure how I did it. So yeah, this was life after getting back from traveling. Videographer by day, and then get home and just focus on the passion projects at night. So it's kind of like juggling. Like if I had loads of plates, you know, all spinning plates. It was like that. There was a lot going on. Now, there was one time where me and my mates went on a ski trip to Bansko in Bulgaria, and I want to tell you the story of that because I've never shared it before. It was over a year ago, and my mates have been pestering me ever since to basically edit this story and tell you. Good morning. We're in Manchester. That is where we are. That's where we are. The boys. You may notice some of these faces from such classics as The Bajans and Australian Road Trip. We're going skiing, so this could be interesting. So yeah, this is the story of our trip to Bansko. Charlie, it's so early in the morning. If you had to describe what's your level of skiing? What's your skill level?
Uncontrolled.
Uncontrolled.
Quite quick.
It's the same as me.
Quick. Are you saying the same thing? You're uncontrolled but quite quick.
Mate.
Pace of snowboarding. What's your level of
snowboarding at?
He thinks he's sick.
Yeah, I think I'm a lot better than I am.
Interesting.
All snowboarders ever.
Jake, you're also snowboarding. What's your level of snowboarding at?
I've been for about a day, but yeah, probably same pace. I think I'm better than I am.
So there's the two snowboarders. Cons. John, looks a bit nervous. What's your level of skiing at? Fractured. What happened the other week?
Fell off my bike.
You fell off your bike, and you fractured your arm.
I have.
And now you're going skiing. Have you ever skied before?
A day.
A day. Right then.
I remember being super excited for this because it was our first ski trip together. A few of us had been skiing before, but this was the first one together, and it had been a while since I'd been skiing. Naturally, like all my other trips, I was going to get my camera out and just capture all of it and make a little travel film. We landed in Sofia, which is the capital of Bulgaria, jumped in a minibus, and that basically drove us to the ski resort.
Alright, just landed in Sofia, which is the capital of Bulgaria.
How was it? I need thanks.
First impressions?
Harder than expected.
It's so hot. Wearing like all winter gear because I thought we were going to the mountains and
No, we wouldn't say.
it's like 16 degrees right now. Boiling. We've got a 2-hour drive to Bansko.
I remember going through Sofia and it was just like these huge, sort of like, I'd say Cold War era, like big apartment blocks. Very different to anything I'd seen before actually. It's from a very like Eastern Bloc. And eventually all of this gave way to like this bleak, sort of brown wasteland almost.
Whilst we're on our way to Bansko, just read you a few interesting facts about Bulgaria that I had no idea. I literally have no idea about Bulgaria. Never been in my life. Just literally parachuted in. First fact: Bulgaria is the oldest country in Europe that hasn't changed its name since it was first established. This happened in 681 AD. Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria, which we just drove through. It was founded 7,000 years ago. This makes it the second oldest city in Europe.
Which city is that?
Sofia, we just drove through it.
Right. It's seen limited development.
Not much has changed in 7,000 years.
And it was like this for 3 hours. We were sort of driving along and we were looking at each other like, where's the snow?
The first computer in the world was created by a Bulgarian, John Atanasov. Now, alright, all 3 computers. Right. A few jokes there from the boys. Is it best practice to turn up to a country and within the first hour start slating it? Absolutely not. But clearly, we were a little taken aback by how different Bulgaria was.
Eventually, we arrived in the town of Bansko.
Alright, we're here. We made it to Bansko.
There you go.
The boys.
We were staying in an Airbnb that we found online. Very cheap, very simple, but yeah, it did the job.
There it is. Hey. Oh, no, it's well warm. Is that your bed? Oh my god.
It was a very short walk down into town, and that's where we could sort out our ski passes and all our gear.
Literally, like, just dumped our stuff, chose our beds. Some of us got luckier than others.
I mean, it was seriously happy to rotate at some point.
Yeah, I think we should rotate.
Oh my god!
The slats have come off. Mate, the sofa might be a better bet.
We are now heading into town to buy our ski passes for tomorrow. And there's the gondolas, look. That's where we're going on tomorrow morning. So yeah, we need to get ski passes, and we're also starving. Like, we haven't really eaten all day. So we're gonna find somewhere to eat. Bansko looks pretty cool when we're driving through. Quite a lot of people there, so let's go see what we can find. Bansko was your classic Bulgarian ski resort. If there is such thing as a classic Bulgarian ski resort. It was basically one long main high street. There was a lot of fast food, restaurants, seedy bars, a supermarket, souvenir shops, ATMs, and of course us, the tourists. Like I said, there were plenty of places to eat, and didn't take us long to figure that one out.
After devouring some delicious meat and carbs, we headed back through town to sort out our very reasonably priced ski passes for the week.
Hello, same please, can I have 6 days from tomorrow? Yes. Adult. Thank you very much.
We also managed to sort out our hire gear, so we were all prepped for the morning.
That was pretty good, successful. I messed up my words. I was like, it's been a long day. I was gonna say that was a pretty successful mission to town. Got some scran and our ski gear and our ski passes. So I can't believe we sorted everything. We're just like, we're ready to roll tomorrow morning. Too smooth. Just roll out of bed.
Something's gotta go
straight on to that fresh pow.
Yeah, we're all gonna break our legs.
Fresh pow, did someone say?
Having also grabbed supplies from the supermarket.
Mate, there's like 7 boys. You've got hardly anything in there. Let's just get more milk.
Morning.
We need more water than that, surely.
We're just chucking in loads of stuff. Is that what's going on? Just meat. Just get loads of meat.
We settled in for the evening, preparing for the big day.
Okay. It's been a long day. We've got like everything sort of like charging, and I've sort of packed everything ready to go for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day. Finally hit the sweet, sweet pow pow. Just wanted to get your thoughts on tomorrow, mate.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Mate, you've never been on a real hill.
It's the big day. It's the big day tomorrow. We're gonna wake up and sniff out some real pow pow. What's Josh thinking over there? What do you think? Yeah, tomorrow.
I'm thinking what could possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
We're all going to be fine.
Well, it won't be
that's when you can't cook to me in the hospital.
Air ambulance, like.
Yeah.
First day on the slopes, a real baptism of fire, except it was snowy and icy and cold, but you know what I mean. Alright, as you can see, we are all suited, ready to go. Different colour codes going on here. We got all our gear on and waddled down to the slope outside our Airbnb. As you do, you've got these big ski boots on and it's kind of weird, hard to walk. Here we are then, boys. The hill on which we die. We slapped the skis on and yeah, it was funny. Like even just that first little session going down to the gondola was everyone just getting used to skiing again. How do you stop?
on ice. On ice, yeah.
Stage 1.
Skiing stop. It's a fair question, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll try that. And if that fails, you've got a parallel stop like Jamie. It's very icy. Now, no one get ahead of themselves. Take it easy.
Yeah, I'm not going to send it on there if I die.
Oh, that's very icy. Oh.
We got to the gondola and there was a huge queue, like ridiculous amount of people waiting.
Currently in the queue for the gondola. It's taking a while. Going up some stairs as well.
We had to wait there like an hour. It was like super slow moving. They could really do with another cable car, I think. It was pretty frustrating having to wait because we were just so keen to get onto the mountain. But yeah, eventually we made it to the front. We all piled into this one cable car. I don't know how that happened. Pretty stressful.
That was yeah! Oh my god!
7 pieces of foot.
That was stressful.
Mate, I had a guy like behind me going like...
Jesus Christ.
The gondola takes about 20 minutes, climbing up through the forest and into the snow and mountains, where we could catch our first tantalising glimpses of the pistes. Naturally, we all went right up to the very top of Mount Todorka, the highest point where all the best slopes began. Here, the views were absolutely stunning. Obligatory photo snapped, it was time to ski.
Now, up until this point, everything in this video has been pretty linear, right? It's all flowed, and that's how all my travel videos go. I tell you the story, I say this is where we were going, this is how I felt, this is what we got up to, da 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 da. It's classic storytelling, and it's what I always set out to do. It's what I set out to do here, but as soon as we hit the slopes, everything kind of changed. Let me start by saying I'm okay at skiing. I'm not great. Oh. That's the first one. First one. It had been a while. Fuck's sake. Fucking hell. So I was a little rusty. Oh. Very rusty. Ah, fuck, come on. But I absolutely loved the feeling of skiing. Like, it's addictive. If you know what I'm on about, you know, like, it's hard to describe the words, so I'll just let you watch this.
Yeah. Coming in, yeah.
Yeah!
Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LA BB, who we running with? Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again.
Fucking smashed it.
Woo!
63.
63. Yeah.
I was like, Josh, get out the way.
That was fucking naughty. That was so good. Over the next few days, we basically just built up our confidence and we became more and more confident. We got braver and braver, sometimes a little too ballsy.
Oh my god!
I remember when we did our first black run of the week. Basically a black run is the hardest ski slope you can do. It means it's very steep, probably very icy, and basically a black run is like, don't try this unless you're good. And obviously we were all like, well, we're pretty good now, so yeah, we did our first black run, and I remember being at the top of it and just looking down like, holy shit, I'm not ready for this. GoPro's on.
Right, let's just get through this, alright?
Yeah. Nice and easy. We just sort of like shifted out, and it was so icy. You can see like I was just slipping the whole way down. It was terrifying.
So icy.
You alright?
Yeah. Still icy as
Yeah,
fuck.
we need to get over there. Jake, get over that way. It's icy as fuck.
But we managed it, you know, and it was just such a fun time.
I came in, did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LA BB, who we running with? Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright.
Oh, how fuck.
Is that your first ever black?
Yes.
I remember this one really bad fall that I had. I got it on camera.
Basically, whilst going up the mountain on the ski lifts, we ended up naming certain runs because they looked super dangerous and sketchy. This was Hell's Bowl.
There she is. Hell's Bowl.
Everything started off okay. We entered the bowl timidly, just eased our way into it, and then I went to make a turn and hit some really hard ice.
I was basically just careering head first down the mountain. I was gaining momentum basically, and I remember thinking, fuck, like I'm not stopping. Like I was just eating snow, it's like flying everywhere, and I was like, I'm not stopping. And I had these visions of me just going all the way down the mountain. I was like, I'm just gonna go right to the bottom here. And like I narrowly missed pace. My mate, he's like, whoa, when I come flying past. Eventually I basically had to like shift myself around. I got myself turned around and I had my ski poles like this, and I like dug them into the snow, and it's like just all this snow spraying up. And eventually, after what felt like a minute, I came to a stop, and everyone was just pissing themselves. Like Jake was filming with his GoPro at the top, and he couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good times.
All good, thank you, man. That was some crash. Some crash.
I something. I just see something going straight for me. I'm like, something out the way.
Oh, we big boys now.
That's the hell's balls.
Houston boys.
Oh fuck. Fuck yes.
Yes, boy.
We smashed it.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Saying, I stopped and I seen this massive thing coming down right towards me. I was like, oh!
Oh, Josh.
And that was it. Just a really, really fun time. There was no story to those next 5 days. There could have been if I wanted to craft one, but every time I got the camera out, I didn't really want to. I didn't want to film that much. It was a strange feeling. I didn't want to have to go to the top of the mountain on my own, get the drone out, pack it all out, like get the thing on and antenna, watch out everyone I'm taking off, like all on my own. That would take like an hour just to get some drone footage of the mountain. In the hour it would take me to go get that drone footage, they were probably off doing something really fun.
Oh, yeah!
I just didn't want to miss out. I just wanted to ski and enjoy a holiday with my mates. And that's what we did. It was an amazing trip.
I came in, did it like the Porsches coming in.
Woo! That was nice.
Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LA BB, who we running with? Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright, coming in.
Come on then, chaps. It's a beautiful day for sending it.
Yeah, flex, I just wanna win.
Yeah! Oh, baby. Oh! Damn! Ha!
Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LA BB, who we running with? Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10, 10, 10. Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah. Coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LA BB, who we running with, yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah, state your name, big been dope on flame, I just switched the lanes, damn he did it again, I just flipped the pain, stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it. I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in. Yeah.
This was my first holiday I'd taken since becoming a videographer full-time, and whereas before my trips away had always been the chance for me to get the camera out and get creative, I was now doing that every single day. This holiday was actually about taking a break from that, putting the camera away and just relaxing. I found that a really strange concept at first, and it was something I struggled with.
That's why it's taken me a year to show you this film. I'm glad I finally took the time to make it now, whilst we're going through this period where travel isn't really an option. You realise how much you take trips like this for granted. When Jamie's mum picked us up from the airport, she kind of summed it all up perfectly. She said how great it was that even though we left school nearly 8 or 9 years ago, we still took the time and made the effort to keep in touch and go on these holidays.
Oh, so nice.
That's super important. So, I'm sorry it took so long, boys, and I hope that we'll be getting back out there on another trip sometime soon.
Oh yes!